Roger Barcelon se je rodil in odraščal v Kairu. V Španiji je študiral slikarstvo, kasneje pa živel v Italiji, Angliji in na Norveškem. Danes v bližini Austina v Teksasu vodi šolo vizualnih umetnosti. Do 12. leta pa je bila njegova najpomembnejša oseba Marija Furlan. Ko je šla Marija v Egipt, je doma pustila 4-letnega sina in 15-mesečno hčer. Potem pa je 16 let ostala v Kairu pri družini Barcelon oziroma njihovih otrocih.
My mother was very often playing cards, going outside, going to see friends at the club usually. Or she was on the phone for hours with her sister or with her friends. And I was with the nanny. And she took care of me completely. And so you can imagine, my mother, she wasn't... I saw my mother very little. And my father even less.
Danes živita v Londonu. Rodila pa sta se v Kairu. Dr. Ellis Duek je postal ugleden zdravnik. Njegova sestra Claudia Roden je avtorica priljubljenih kuharskih knjig. Njuna dolgoletna varuška Marija Koron se je rodila v Batujah v Vipavski dolini.
The most important person was our nanny. My mother was a very beautiful woman, always well dressed, and but the person who looked after me, who fed me, was Maria Coron.
In fact, I've got her photograph that I have still now on my bedside table, which means something. And because she made our childhood happy. And I also shared a room with her for many, many years, which is unusual, I suppose. But so I had an intimacy, and which somehow I feel gave me a lot of security in life.
I do remember when I started walking, because I remember her very clearly at the end of the room, extending her arms, and I was walking towards her. And so I was very, very small. I must have been a year and a half or something like this. She was everything. I mean, if I had a problem, I would go to her. I wouldn't go to my mother.
Maria was a bit like our rock, that our parents, our mother would go out a lot, and us children were always with Maria. And Maria was always there for us, ready to listen to us, to just administer to everything that we needed.
She had complete charge of the children. Complete. That's she did what she wanted, what she felt was right always. I never felt that my mother would tell her do this or do that. That was her decision.
Okay, my mother was a very sophisticated, very clever person, and she was reading Freud. She believed in vitamins. Maria was really a very simple woman, a very simple peasant woman who would give views of the world in general, and I received both these. And when I became a doctor, I always felt that my relationship with the more simple people was easier. I learned that empathy with them from my Maria, so I could really, what a doctor has to do if he's going to be a successful one, is to go the whole range of people from the most simple to the most sophisticated.
A newspaper asked me to write, they had a column about unsung heroes. And I wrote about her as an unsung heroine because I felt she had sacrificed herself. For us, she sacrificed most of her life, but she also sacrificed herself for her family. And I realized that my mother was jealous for the first time. And I just, she was so shocked, or a bit, not shocked, she was a bit upset because she felt, that I had somehow such a big love for the nanny.
I remember my childhood with her. I can't remember my childhood with my parents. It's a strange thing. It's weird. Today I'm 77, so I still am fighting to understand what happened there, but it affected my life.
I felt always, and my parents felt, and all of us, that we were enormously lucky. Us, not just our family, but all the others. We always thought we had the best nannies.
They were considered honest and kind. Certainly we were never slapped or hit or anything at all.
The Austrians, there were some, were very strict too. And the French were pretentious, or not pretentious, they wanted you to speak perfect French. And we thought our French was perfect enough.
The English nannies had a reputation for not being kind, for being strict. And those who wanted a strict upbringing for their children would have English nannies. But those who wanted a really kind, warm thing, it was the Slovenes.
My affection for my nanny grew. My affection for my parents was lesser and lesser. They used to travel every year for 3 months. When they came back, I never recognized my mother. My reaction is I was afraid. I was hiding behind Maria. I was hiding behind her, and I didn't want, who was this lady, who was this woman? I was always very kind to my parents. I was always very polite with them, and I hope I was a good son. But I didn't have a relationship with them. And when they died, I didn't feel anything. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And I felt guilty because of that. I thought, why? I was 12 years old when she left, and it made a big void in me. In my life. I never understood quite well where she went, although I was told that it was because she had to go back to her parents and her children and her family. But for me, it was an enormous. It was a catastrophe for me at that age. I never felt safe in my life. After that, I never felt safe. I still don't feel safe. She loved my brothers and me. She loved us, there's no doubt. She must have felt like a mother. She must have. I can't think of any other way. She must have felt like a mother. And I still miss her today, still think of her a lot.